Hey, Cooter. Check this out. Here's Anywhere But Here, man, on this here podcast.
Oh, I like me some podcasts, man.
What y'all talking about?
We're talking about Anywhere But Here.
What's Anywhere But Here? Anywhere But Here in Mississippi?
No, man, Anywhere But Here over in England.
Hey, we ain't in England.
I know, but that's where the England's from.
What?
Hey, Cletus, remember when we went and saw that movie about the wars in the stars and they had like lightsabers and stuff like that? Well, these people here talk about things we like.
Really?
I guarantee.
Well, hot diggity damn. What we waiting for?
Anywhere But Here podcast.
Hello and welcome to Anywhere But Here, number 58 this week. I'm being mega enthusiastic because we've just lost about 15 minutes of podcast.
Oh, we weren't 15 minutes.
No, I know. But hey, these things happen.
These things do happen.
They happen more regularly recently.
Yeah, with all the new equipment and stuff, everything seems to be going wrong.
Yes. But you can find us at www.abhpod.com, where there is an Amazon link in the top right-hand corner. And instead of going to amazon.co.uk, because I said com last time.
Oh, did you? They won't know that, though, so it's fine. Well, the funny thing is, it's like, doing this every week is fine, doing the little guff at the beginning, but when you've got to do it about 10 minutes after you've already done it once.
So, yeah, instead of put abhpod.com into your favourites, instead of going to amazon.co.uk, you can put in abhpod.com and you can go to our link and we get 5% of everything that you spend.
This is going so well. Anyway, yes, you know that.
And then, you know, that good feeling that you get from helping us out, that karma, you can then take out into the rest of the world and your whole day will be positive.
And you will brighten up everybody else's lives.
Yes, it will be wonderful. What a wonderful world it will be.
Yes. So, you can also interact with us if you kind of want to know what the fuck we're doing right now. You can interact with us on Twitter at ABHpod.
Indeed you can. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ABHpod.
Oh my god. Yeah, so go to those places and interact with us. If you kind of want to see this shambles. You can go to youtube.com/ABHpodcast and it will be there.
It will, 2 days after.
Yes, it goes up on a Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Well remembered.
We haven't said that for a while.
Jesus, just blew out everyone's
Sorry. Oh, God. What else?
You can go like, subscribe, favourite, whatever.
Please go to iTunes and give us a review and a star rating. Star rating, even if you don't want to put down
a review.
Just go to iTunes Store, search Anywhere But Here. We're the only podcast there called Anywhere But Here, and give us 5 stars.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that, really.
Yeah. And do that, because that does help people find us.
Yeah.
What can also help us is if you go to podcastland.com and search for Anywhere But Here, and then just chuck in your email address, uncheck the marketing box if you don't want updates from them. But I'm sure updates from them could be quite good, actually.
Yeah.
I think there'll be some interesting podcasts and stuff you might like to listen to.
So
Either way.
if you're a podcast...
check that or uncheck it, and then click vote.
Yeah.
And if you've got multiple email addresses, I'm not saying
that you should
enter those and vote at each email address you've got. But if you fancy doing that, it might help.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all the housekeeping stuff out of the way. I guess that's super record time.
Probably.
So last week we promised you a special guest. His name is Corky, and if you're watching the YouTube, you can see he's not here.
Yeah, you thought that was going to be an intro then, didn't you? So did I, and I'm in this room. He texted me yesterday. Well, after I texted him and said, "Oh, you're still up for tomorrow?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm up for tomorrow.
Then
we do it."
We started sorting out extra equipment to bring down and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Because I've got extra microphones.
And there's a third person we need extra equipment.
Yeah.
So a couple of hours later, he texted me and said, "No, I can't do it." I was like, "Oh, okay, right."
But if you have been listening for a long time, you'll know that that's a step up from what usually happens.
Yeah, it is really, isn't it? Yeah.
Because last year was probably the last time he was on. It was roughly a year ago.
It was the Oscars.
I think it was the Oscars last year, wasn't it?
He was definitely on for the Oscars last year.
It might have been one.
Or was it the
afterwards.
BAFTAs?
No, he was definitely here for the Oscars as well. Don't know.
He was definitely, I think.
And then a couple of weeks after that, he kind of faded away, and we didn't hear from him for nearly a year.
Yeah, that was a bit weird.
Except that he told Liz, your other half, that he wasn't going to do this anymore.
Well, no, actually, when he told Liz, that was before we even started.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
It was the first episode
right. Yeah,
we said we were
right.
going to have a third
sorry.
person, but he told Liz that it's not going to last and he's not going to do it. Well,
instead of us.
he's coming back a year later, so
Yeah.
Who
Who's
wins?
crawling back now? He's probably going to listen to this and he'll never come back in again.
he doesn't listen.
No, of course not. So
right,
he
but-
said that he'd tell us why he can't make it down next week, which means that he may be on next week.
Oh.
Possible issues with the sound.
I
Again
think the
this week.
sound's come back again.
But yeah, so he might be on next week. He may not. Let's just see what happens.
Yeah,
I
we'll see what
suppose.
happens.
We wanted him on this week because it's the Oscars tonight. Tonight. I know Scott from Stinking Paws has taken the day off work tomorrow so that he can watch it all.
I don't understand why people do that.
He was saying that because
I'm not into film that much. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's
it's a long, boring awards ceremony. It goes
It's
on
hours,
for
isn't
hours
it?
and hours and hours. He'll watch the kind of abridged, not highlights, but
what tomorrow he'll watch the
yeah,
abridged just the big awards.
yeah.
It's
all
like
the awards
you
back
think
to
it's
back.
a full show, but it's not. It's missing out about 20
Hmm.
awards. I was looking at the awards nominations yesterday, and the list
there's so
is
many.
huge.
It's crazy.
There's so many different awards for stuff that's important to an extent, but
Yeah, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's all very important. But yeah, you get down to the very bottom
costume design,
of. Well, it's not even that.
production
it's,
design, editing.
sound mixing. Does sound mixing
Not come
really
under
need
editing.
a separate award from sound editing? Yeah, I just
You got two writing. One's adapted screenplay. One's original
original.
screenplay. I mean, I suppose.
yeah. But it's like everything, though, isn't it? Everything's got to have its own little niche or its own genre, or it's everything's got to be recognised. No one can. Everyone's got to be a winner.
It,
Is this really?
it keeps
doing that
clipping
again?
again. Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
Maybe it's this place.
Maybe
Maybe it doesn't like this house.
Perhaps bad electricity in the house or something.
Who knows? I don't
So
understand.
we've got technical issues again this week. We're gonna put our hands up to it already. You're just gonna have to.
Deal with it. Yeah. That was not a picture of Jennifer Lawrence in a low-cut dress.
But yeah, so
So-
that was why we wanted him here, was to discuss the Oscars. And he's not, so we're going to muddle through it ourselves to the best of our ability.
I mean, Tom is a film fan.
I'm a film fan. I wouldn't put myself as a film buff.
I like films.
Yes, yeah.
No, you're a film fan, which means you know quite a bit about films.
Yeah.
I like films,
Yeah.
which means I will watch them.
Yeah.
I'm not bothered about who the director is, who wrote the score, who edited, who released it. I just watch the films.
Sure.
I don't care who's in it. I'm
No.
not big on who the actors are.
True, which is probably why we're going to stick to the main, the big awards,
Yeah,
rather
we're-
than going down into the sound mixing awards.
Yeah, obviously we're going to go best picture, like leading actress, leading actor, supporting actress and actor, animated and cinematography. I've written down. There might be a few more like song.
Yeah, I don't
score.
see why not.
Not
'cause,
score so
you know,
much, I don't think.
We are
Corky did say, and he asked me to put this out to the listeners
okay.
because he wanted to. I know.
Did he?
Yeah.
Indeed, he's fucking.
He's already trying to take over.
See what I mean?
But no, I said to him, I said, yeah, it's fine, just come in next week. But you'll be expected to bring in content because we're not going to do the Oscars again. We might go over how right or wrong we were.
Yes, but that will be about it.
But yeah, he said, I can do my 100 favourite. Sorry, that put me off. I coped with that
that's
really
right,
well.
that's right, yeah,
He
yeah.
said I can do my 100 favourite, like bring into his list for his 100 favourite songs from
Right.
films.
Okay.
And it was like, you could, but we can't play music.
Yeah.
So if we don't know the songs, that's going to be really boring. And if you're not interested, that's going to be really boring for the people listening. I mean, I imagine Stinking Paws and History of Misunderstanding, people like that, they would be interested.
JT Movie Cast and all
Yeah,
the
they'd
rest
be
of
interested because they like films and they know scores and things. But I know some.
Yeah.
I just don't know if it's going to work really well. So he said, like, put it out to the people.
To our listeners.
To the listeners. And see what they say. So, you know, hashtag Corky yes or Corky no.
Yes, I like it. So,
If you want him to bring in his 100 greatest favourite film scores, hashtag Corky
well,
yes.
we have to go through every single one, like all 100. So that show will
He's going to bring in that list. We're not going for 100.
No.
Fuck that.
You know that.
5 at most.
Because this was what I was
10
saying
at
when
the most.
I helped him move in the other week. He was saying about doing a podcast about that kind of thing, and I was like, well, that makes a good idea for a series of podcasts.
You can't take it too far.
To do one podcast on a list of 100 is going to take hours and hours and hours.
And you can't play music.
Yeah.
Unless you spend over £100 getting your license.
Yeah, and if we're hosting that podcast, I'm not going to pay for the license just for that.
No. No, it's just...
I mean, it would then mean that we could play music on our podcast, but
Yeah,
you know,
it's something we definitely want to look into, but it is it
It's
does
quite
cost
expensive.
money, which is why I'm considering putting that High Frequency album up on Bandcamp
yeah.
to try and raise some money, maybe to play music. And I mean, we'll see what people say. If people are interested in that or not. Calm down, Tom.
But so do we want to pop straight into the Oscars or?
Yeah, I don't know really. Because Corky was coming on, we were doing the Oscars. I didn't really look up much news.
Well,
or
this is
anything
it.
like
There's
that.
a couple
The only thing I
of-
saw that was funny.
Yeah.
Made me laugh, and it's just a thing that kind of pissed me off as well. I was listening to the radio at work, and they done this whole thing celebrating 40 years of rock at Nebworth, headlining Sonosphere at Prodigy.
Not really
Rock
a rock band.
celebrating 40 years of rock with the Prodigy. Fine.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, that just annoyed me.
I mean, they're a
found it
really,
funny.
really good live band.
And people who like rock music do like the Prodigy.
Yeah, yeah,
Like-
because they're great. They are brilliant. I love
but
them.
it's not.
But it's not a rock band.
It's like Download and Reading Rock Festival.
Yeah.
They're not rock anymore.
No.
So
No, not at all.
that just pissed me off, and that was something we could have spoken about. But fuck it. Let's do the Oscars.
Yeah, let's jump into the Oscars. Then we might have some stuff afterwards.
Do we want to just go Best Picture down? I mean, it's not like we're announcing the winner.
No,
we'll leave Best
exactly.
Picture to last.
Yeah,
We'll start-
let's do it. You know.
Let's go cinematography.
Okay.
I've got them here. Unless you want to do song or something.
No, it's cool.
You choose. Right, so cinematography. Obviously, we've got the nominees. We've got the Grandmaster,
That's the
martial arts.
yeah.
So because I went through it last night when Liz and
Yeah.
Chloe were here, I went through it last night and looked up everything.
Okay.
And I did look at the Grandmaster trailer, and that, cinematography-wise, really interesting. It's not done like a typical martial arts film.
Okay.
It's really, I mean, we could look it up, but I don't know. It does look like it's really well shot. You've got Gravity, you've got Inside Llewellyn Davis.
Oh no. Right. Okay.
Yeah, so Inside Llewellyn Davis, Nebraska, and Prisoners. I mean, the only two that looked like they were really shot. Oh, they're three. The Grandmaster looked like it was really well done, like really well framed, and it's like a
Right.
big epic sort of thing. Gravity, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, is that more direction or cinematography? That's the thing with that one.
Or is it special effects? Because everything is green screened, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't really get where. I mean, I understand. Obviously, there has to be. I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
Nebraska is it's the black and white.
Yes,
film.
that looks really good
It's-
actually.
What's his name? He's in because he's nominated for leading actor as well.
Yes, he
Actor in
is.
leading role.
Bruce Dern.
And that's sorry, I'm turning my notepad
No,
right in
it's
front
cool.
of the mic.
It's analog. It's cool.
Yeah, that but yeah, that looked really interesting. I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah.
And then I looked it up, and yeah, it's
It's-
like he's got the letter about he's won $1 million.
Yeah,
he's
and
got-
everyone knows that it's a scam.
Well, no,
or
it is a scam. Or his son and his family know it's a scam, and they're like, look, he hasn't got long left. Just let him. Because he's caught by the cops because he's trying to walk to Nebraska.
That's right.
So he's brought home by the cops, and they're saying, just let him believe it. And then it kind of gets around the village, and everyone thinks he's won.
Yeah, it does
$1 million.
look like a very good film.
It looks interesting. I mean, I don't know if it's about the Alzheimer's or something like that, is it? Or is it just about old age?
It becomes like a bit of a road movie where the son finds out things about his dad, and the dad finds out.
So
about,
yeah.
you know,
So it's got at the end of his dad's
kind of
life sort of
yeah,
thing.
it's kind of a heartwarming tale, I think.
Yeah.
Inside Llewyn Davis is Coen Brothers.
Biopic is it? Well, is it? No, is it fictional?
No, it's fiction. It's kind of based on the life of a folk singer around about the time just before Bob Dylan breaks and rejuvenates the folk scene in New York.
Yeah, that does look quite good actually.
Yeah, I mean, I love the Coens. I've seen clips of Inside Llewyn Davis, and there's always a certain style of visuals that you get from a Coen Brothers film.
Yeah.
But from the sound of it, what you're saying about the Grandmaster, that probably
It's between that and
sticks out.
Gravity, I think. Because I mean, Prisoners is kids get kidnapped, blah blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
Yeah, that's
don't
the
know.
Jake Gyllenhaal and Hugh Jackman one, isn't it?
It does look. It looks like a film that would terrify me, having
yeah.
a 6-year-old
Yeah, I
daughter.
suppose so.
Because I was like, oh, what's that? And I looked it up and I saw them. And I was like, oh god. And then it started with the kidnap thing. I was like, fuck that.
It's a bit tense.
I get anxiety enough. I don't need that in
Yeah.
my mind as well. But yeah, between Gravity and Grandmaster, I think Inside Llewyn Davis is, like you say, typical Coen Brothers journey.
It's
Lots of travelling.
Yeah, it's
It's
got
like
like
fucking
a
Red Dead Redemption. That's a Coen Brothers game, isn't it?
True,
Red Dead
yeah.
Redemption,
Yeah, I
travelling around,
suppose so.
epic story.
And it's got that kind of sepia look to it.
Yeah,
you
but
know.
I think between Gravity and Grandmaster,
reckon so.
I mean, I think Grandmaster being a foreign film has probably got a better chance. Because that's just how I feel about the Oscars.
Yeah.
If a foreign film's nominated, it's more than likely going to win because it's usually a film that no one's heard much of.
True.
I'm going for Grandmaster. I'm going
Let's
to put
do it.
my initial next to it. What
Yeah,
are you
yeah,
going
no,
for?
I think I would agree with you. Because the thing with Gravity is it's mostly digital, so the cinematography would be I don't know, I always find that it's
It's more on the director side, I think.
yeah,
Gravity.
I
I think it's more of a direction than cinematography. I know, like you say, special effects as well.
yeah, cinematography for me is more to do with the framing and the lighting and all the rest of it, and that for me is more evident in physical movies that are actually
But then again,
set on
saying that,
set.
if you're saying that in Gravity, then you've got the fact that they have to light it on set and light it in
Yeah, I suppose.
computer. They've got to do the
yeah.
matching thing. I don't know. I still think Grandmaster being the foreign
Yeah,
film.
let's go with that. Let's go there.
What did you want to go for next?
We've got. I mean, we could do best music original song.
Yes. Now I instantly want to go for fucking Happy from Despicable Me 2 because
Yeah.
it's everywhere.
So you got there's that from Despicable Me 2. There's Let It Go from Frozen. The Moon Song from Her, which I've not seen yet because I don't think it's
know
been.
the others.
I don't think that one's been released over here just yet. That's the thing. It's the Joaquin Phoenix one where he falls in love with his computer. But I don't know. It's not out here yet, so I haven't seen it.
It always interested me, but I watched the trailer and I'm like, that doesn't look interesting to me. As a film to watch, just to enjoy as a film. If you're looking at it as a thought-provoking thing, yes, maybe.
Yeah, I'd like to go and see it.
I wouldn't go and see it.
I might. I
Watch
mean,
it
it's a
on
Spike
Netflix.
Jones film as well, so
I'd watch it on Netflix.
yeah,
I wouldn't go and see it
right,
at
okay.
all.
But I don't have to pay for the cinema.
No, that's
so,
true.
you know.
But yeah, I don't know that song. And what's the last one?
Ordinary Love from Mandela Long Walk
don't know
to Freedom.
that song
Again,
either.
I don't think anyone ever went to see it. So.
No. You said that last week, didn't you?
Yeah.
I think it's between Happy and Let It Go.
Yeah.
Based on this house, Let It Go, because every day, about 10 times a day, Chloe will be singing it.
I would imagine for me.
But I think Happy's going to win it.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
I'm going to go for Let It Go.
Really?
Yeah.
You're backing Disney on this one.
I am. Yeah, I'm going to back Disney. Mainly because I haven't seen Despicable Me 2.
Have you not?
No, because I didn't really get on with the first
Funny.
one. Didn't get on with the first
so
one.
Good. I love Despicable Me. I haven't written those down, so I can't mark them.
It's all right.
but
I'm sure we'll
we've gone for different ones.
remember it. I mean, there's then original score, but
I don't know.
again, I haven't seen any of them.
That's the thing. We don't know them, so you can't go for them. The animated films. The best animated. You've got The Croods, Despicable Me 2, Ernest and Celeste, Frozen, and The Wind Rises. Now, Ernest and Celeste is...
Yeah, I've not heard of that one.
It's a French animated film. It's
Okay.
like in the style, it looks like Winnie the Pooh movies. It's
right.
really well done, but it's French. It's about the friendship between a bear and a mouse.
Oh, right. Okay. So a bit like the John Lewis advert from this year for Christmas.
Yeah, well, more like Gruffalo.
Okay.
We're kind of cross between Gruffalo and the John Lewis advert. It's a colony of mice.
Uh-huh.
So think Ratatouille, but mice instead of rats.
Right.
And they're told to stay away from the big scary bears. Rah. And then the Celeste is like, oh, how do you know they're bad? And she's a little mouse called Celeste. She says, how do you know they're bad? And then she goes off and she meets a bear who tries to eat her, and she just keeps talking to him. And they end up becoming friends, and then she brings him back to the colony and introduces him, and you know, I don't know what it's about really.
Friendship.
But yeah, it's and then so The Wind Rises is a Japanese manga.
Yes. The Studio Ghibli
Yeah.
guy, right?
Yeah.
Hayao Hayao Miyazaki.
Yeah, that's Miyazaki. It's like I think it's kind of loosely based on a true story, but it's a fictionalized version. It's about,
Really?
I don't know, the guy who invented like some sort of aeroplane.
Okay.
All I could say is like it was weird. I mean, it's Studio Ghibli, so it's this weird. He's kind of flying aeroplanes, model aeroplanes about, and weird stuff like that. And there's like a love story in it. And you know, it's Japanese.
Sure.
Manga.
And I mean, they're always really well produced as well. I like the Studio Ghibli
I mean, it'd be
films.
easier to go for something like Despicable Me or Frozen, you know, being like the big things.
Yeah.
But again, like I said with the other one, it's the Oscars. So it kind of makes me want to go for one of the foreign films.
True.
And it being Miyazaki's last.
Yeah,
Are they
I
gonna honour
suppose
him?
they may
because
well
it
do.
is, it's the Oscars. It's all industry voted. So it's it's his last one. Let's give him an Oscar. So I like that. I mean,
It would be
is it a bit like? Is there a lot of nepotism involved in?
I mean, quite possibly. I mean, again, because apparently the Croods did quite well.
It was very,
during the
very
summer.
good.
It got it made big money. Despicable Me 2 obviously was unstoppable. And Frozen did really, really well. I mean, it's still showing in cinemas now, even though it came out in November.
Yes, because they released a sing-along version.
Yes, they
didn't
didn't they? Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean,
and then you've got the two foreign ones. So
I want to go for one of the foreign ones just because it's the Oscars. And I mean, as horrible as it is to say, they always have better stories.
yeah, oh yeah, and
foreign films.
the actual narrative devices are always different as well. You know,
It's always interesting.
Yeah, because they come from different cultures, so there's different ways of storytelling, especially with Chinese or Japanese or Korean storytelling is a lot different from Western storytelling.
Yeah, the thing with the American things, there's always got to be like you got to have the protagonist, the antagonist. There's always got to be sort of some sort of conflict that will get resolved at the end, and that is basic.
But it's
I don't
more
know if
like
it's the same.
kind of princesses and blah blah blah, or supervillains, or
Yeah,
you know,
there's always
anthropomorphic cavemen and dinosaurs and
Yeah.
stuff. Whereas your Studio Ghibli stuff is a lot more kind of spiritual, and it's a lot more kind of
and the protagonist could be life.
in a
manga.
It's more kind of metaphorical.
Yeah.
It
does always
now
make
you
me
say
wanna
that
go-
it's his last one, because I don't think the Studio Ghibli ones have won Oscars before, as far as I'm aware. So it could well be that this final
Although
one.
Howl's Moving Castle, Disney purchased that. They released it because I remember last year or the year before, Chloe went on a school trip to the cinema to see Howl's Moving Castle.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my daughter has seen one more Studio Ghibli film than I have.
I like them. I've only seen a couple. I've seen Princess Mononoke and Howl's Moving Castle. I haven't seen Spirited Away, which is the other massive one.
Did that not win an Oscar for visual effects?
Actually, it might have done.
Because it was,
but
yeah.
I don't think they've won Best Animated Feature.
Oh, okay.
I think.
I do want to go for that because, by all accounts, all the reviews say this is his finest film. It's his best one to go out on.
It's his swan song.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it did actually say that as
Really?
well. Yeah. But I do kind of want to go for that.
Go for it then. I might stick with Frozen.
You're going to go for Frozen?
Yeah, because of the popularity that it's had. And it's Disney, doing something
I'm more
slightly
pessimistic,
different.
though.
I know.
That's the
Yeah,
thing.
you're not as into it as I am.
I'm not voting for what I think should win or what I want to win.
No, but also I think that the way that you've put it means that it may well win. You know.
Yeah.
The Wind Rises. That is.
Yes. I don't think
yeah.
Despicable Me 2 will.
I can't see that kind of.
I have
movie
seen it
winning
and
an
it was
Oscar.
fantastic. It
Yeah,
was brilliant. It was
people
funny.
rave
but
about it.
I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
think. And Cruise was really good. That was really interesting and really original, I think. But yeah, I think Wind Rises or Ernest and
Oscar-worthy.
Celeste, but I think Wind Rises will probably go.
Yeah.
Being his last.
Personally, I think it's between The Wind Rises and Frozen, and I'm plumping towards Frozen based on A, I've seen it, and B,
That always helps when you actually know the film.
and B, it's Disney, isn't it? You know, I don't know.
There's no separate thing for visual effects for animated, is there?
No, because it's all.
And Frozen was
pretty
very good-looking film.
Pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, but no, I'm sticking with my
Righto.
choice.
So I'm Frozen. You're with The Wind Rises on that one.
Yeah.
So what are we going on to now? Support.
Is there anything else you wanted to? that I haven't- I can't do
No,
documentaries,
unless we go
haven't seen
into
any.
no
Music, we don't know any.
No.
Oh, John Williams will win that. So I've just seen John Williams is nominated.
There you go. Then
He'll win it.
No, we'll go into
Supporting.
supportings.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So actress in a supporting role.
Yeah.
So you got Sally Hawkins for Blue Jasmine.
Yes.
Jennifer Lawrence in American Hustle, Lupita Nyong'o for 12 Years a Slave, Julia Roberts for August Osage County.
Osage, I think it's.
Oh, is it?
Osage, yeah.
I've always
I
said
think
it
it's
Osage, but yeah, whatever. And June Squibb for Nebraska. For my money,
I didn't actually look up Blue Jasmine or Osage.
Blue
August.
Jasmine is Blue Jasmine the Woody Allen?
Possibly,
job.
actually, yeah. And I didn't look up August Osage County either.
No, that's based on a stage play about a really dysfunctional family
Oh, okay.
out in the Midwest somewhere.
Yeah,
Again, it's got a cast, that film. Like the cast is amazing, and Julia Roberts normally does okay.
The thing is, Jennifer Lawrence is Hollywood's sweetheart, isn't she?
She is, yes, yeah.
It's hard to go up against Jennifer Lawrence.
That said, from what I've heard of 12 Years a Slave, Lupita Nyong'o puts in a stellar performance.
I looked up that trailer and I was just like, oh my god,
Yeah.
that looks absolutely incredible.
It's a powerful film, and I wish I got around to seeing it. I think it might still be showing, but
Really?
one showing a day.
But it's
kind of
one of
thing.
those things I would not want to watch in the cinema.
I think it's going to be a challenging watch.
Oh, definitely. I looked it up. I've heard about it, and I didn't know what it. I looked it up, and I was just like, "Oh my god, that looks horrific!" And knowing that happened to people,
Yeah, exactly. That's the worst thing.
Like,
You
knowing
get
it happened to people, and the fact that he was quite a well-to-do man. He was born
that's the
quite
thing,
lucky,
isn't it?
and then
He somehow gets
no.
press ganged and
kidnapped. I think
it's,
he got kidnapped.
yeah,
didn't he? He got tricked. He was out drinking, and then he got tricked.
It'll give you the
drunk,
white man's
right.
guilt, won't it? That
yeah.
film.
Yeah, definitely.
My money's with Lupita Nyong'o.
Yeah.
In all honesty,
Just
for the apparently her acting is outstanding, and it's in 12 Years a Slave. Whereas American Hustle for me just looks a bit frothy.
Yeah.
And I know that Jennifer Lawrence, like you say, is Hollywood's sweetheart.
Yeah, there's that picture again. Oh no, that was on the first recording, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the thing is, Julia Roberts is great, and June Squibb. Not that I don't know a lot about her. That's what I say. I'm
No,
not into actresses and actors. I don't know that much. But like that film with the content of like maybe it is about him losing his mind as well.
I've
and
not seen
him being his lifelong wife who stuck
Yeah.
by him through thick and thin. And I don't know. Like I'm just
in all the trailers
know
and
how
teaser
the
stuff
film is.
about Nebraska. I've not seen much of her, which leads me to think that does she play a big like? Obviously,
she
she's
must- if
nominated,
she's nominated.
for. Yeah,
it must
but
be a lot more than we see in the trailer. So it's
Yeah.
hard to go for.
I haven't
but,
seen anything
it
to
just
do
puts
with
us off,
her.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Problem is
money's
Joe
on
listens to this list,
Lupita,
doesn't.
yeah. my money's on Lupita Nyong'o to win.
Yeah, I think she's definitely got a great chance. Do I want to agree with you, or do I want to go for Jennifer Lawrence or Julia Roberts? I've got a tendency to agree with you just because of the film itself.
Yeah.
Like, do they do that at the Oscars though? Do they generally go for actresses and actors just because of the film?
I would say more so than the Brits.
And that is going to be a massive performance when you take into account
The subject matter.
the subject matter.
Whereas, for, like I say, American Hustle to me just looks a little bit kind of, it's all about wigs and
Yeah, we'll go.
stuff.
Which
And
does look like she's got a
apparently-
very, very like looking at the trailer, the bits you do see, it is quite a performance in American Hustle.
Yeah, true.
Because she's the mistress, isn't she?
Yes.
And Amy Adams plays. Is that Amy Adams?
Yes, that's right, yeah.
Plays his wife or girlfriend. Yeah, but still, anyway.
Yeah. But for me, that
Just get
film
away
just
from that
looks more
picture.
about hair and makeup and no bras.
Apparently so, yeah.
Nary a bra strap in sight.
But
So, yeah.
I'm going with you, but just because of the subject.
Lupita
matter,
Nyong'o.
yeah.
Right, okay. So that's in stone. That's ABH approved. I'm stealing shit. So actor in a supporting role.
Yes.
Baghdad Abdi for Captain Phillips. Bradley Cooper in American Hustle. Michael Fassbender in 12 Years a Slave. Jonah Hill for The Wolf of Wall Street. And Jared Leto for Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah.
Now,
Everyone is raving about Jared Leto.
yeah, I mean, we were in
And
the pub
looking at
with
the trailer, that was
yeah,
a performance.
Yeah,
That
definitely.
really was. But also, although that's a actor, isn't it, in a leading role, like for Matthew McConaughey.
yes.
But yeah, so
We were in the pub with Scott and Charlie from Stinking Paws
yeah, I'd
last
gone
week.
by that point. I was only there for an hour.
Yeah,
If that.
it was a bit of a shame, but
Yes.
we were there for about 5 in the end.
I saw the Twitter conversation. I don't need a place on that ward, by the way, because I'll be driving,
No, that's
so
true.
I won't need to drink.
Rubbish. So four
I won't need a liver
transplants
transplant,
for some point in March. Yeah, we were talking about films, obviously. You know,
What else are you going to talk to him about, to be fair?
and they were saying that Scott especially was saying about Jared Leto's performance in Dallas Buyers Club, and if he doesn't win an award for that, then something is wrong with the world.
It did look.
And up until I'd seen the list, I would have said Baghdad Abdi.
Yeah.
Because-
Well, yeah, because I saw, like I say, I watched all
Again,
the trailers.
Captain
yesterday.
Phillips, his performance in that is it's pretty damn good. Bearing in mind he's up against Tom Hanks,
Yeah.
and he's an unknown.
Yes.
You know, he's done. This is his
And he
first
holds his
film,
own,
and he
apparently.
just like he knocks it out the park. But from what I've heard of Jared Leto and Dallas Buyers Club,
Incredible.
yeah, and
It's-
again, it's kind of worthy because it's you know it's AIDS and it's all sorts.
Cats, probably.
Um,
Knocking on the door. But yeah. Yeah, it's got to be said, like, I am basing all of this off of trailers because
Yeah.
the only film I have seen that's nominated this year is, well, 2, Frozen and Despicable Me 2. I think they're the only films I've seen that nominated for anything. But yeah, Jared Leto in the trailer, I did not know what that film was about. I want to watch that film now. It looks incredible. All of them do, to be fair.
yeah, true.
Yeah, all of them.
I've missed so many of these, and I really wish I hadn't.
But yeah, I would be tempted to go for Baghdad Abdi. It does look like he does a great
And
job.
he won the
but-
BAFTA as well.
Yeah.
But Jared Leto wasn't in the running.
I don't
for
think
that
he was
BAFTA.
nominated for that, no. It's hard to say with Bradley Cooper because the American Hustle trailer, all you really see is the funny bits.
And equally with Jonah Hill in The Wolf of Wall Street.
But he's supposed to be amazing.
Oh, yeah. I think he's a really good actor.
Yeah.
And his comedy is always very good as well, you know.
Fassbender, let's not take away from him. That role must have been quite difficult.
True.
As well.
Yeah.
Playing opposite.
Yeah.
In that film, but it's different. But yeah, I mean, everyone is saying Jared Leto and Jonah Hill, like all the podcasts I listen to. Not a lot of people say about Captain Phillips. They've all said it's a great film, but they don't really talk about the performances much.
See, I'd like to say Baghdad Abdi, but I think Jared Leto is going to win it.
Yeah, I think it was him or Jonah Hill.
I'm going to say Jared Leto.
Yeah, I was tempted to buy that as well.
Yeah,
the voting for him. Not no, he's an attractive lady.
Yeah, because he's kind of pre-op.
Is he pre-op?
Is he pre-op in the thing?
Hold on,
or post-op? I don't know. Anyway, so Jared Leto for supporting actor, and like we'll see how many that we get right, and we'll come back to.
I'm marking them down
week,
for that reason. Actress in a leading role.
Yes.
Now we've got Amy Adams for American Hustle. American Hustle. That's not bad either, is it? Kate Blanchett for Blue Jasmine.
Yeah.
Sandra Bullock for Gravity. Judi Dench for Philomena, and Meryl Streep for August Osage County. Now Meryl Streep's in there, nobody else stands a chance.
Well, the only one who can stand up to her is Dame Judi Dench, isn't
exactly.
it, really?
And Judy, that film, I watched the trailer again. Oh my God, that looks heartbreaking as well.
Yeah, it's based on a true story.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's that's the thing that makes it. It's a sad story, or it looks like an emotional story anyway. And then when you take into account it's a true story.
Yeah, and they've taken some artistic license for Philomena as well. Like they've changed some of the details and some of it, but it's still the core. The core message and the core plot of the film is still the same. Yeah, you know.
And the last line in the trailer is, "I wasn't even aware I had a clitoris."
Yeah.
James Judi Dench really doesn't need to say stuff like that, does she? But
it's hilarious.
Saying that about those two, Sandra Bullock pretty much acting opposite herself.
Yeah,
for a majority of it.
True. I mean, we didn't get to see that because Joe didn't want to hear Sandra Bullock go all the way through a film. I wouldn't have minded.
No, I was going to say.
But, you know...
Sandra Bullock's
and I keep saying, what noise would you make if you were floating around in space trying to grab onto bits of satellite while, you know, it wasn't a good enough excuse not to see it.
It's a boys' film, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
science.
Sci-fi and blah. Kate Blanchett is supposed to be amazing in Blue Jasmine, though.
Is she?
Yes.
This is difficult.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a powerhouse performance, and if it were down to me, I would go for Kate Blanchett. I think. Yeah. Out of that list of people, yeah.
Just because she's one of ours, I want to go for Judi Dench.
Why not?
And it does look I was going to say August because I started reading that. It does look awesome.
Yeah.
It does look like a great film.
True.
Obviously, Steve Coogan. I'm going to go for Judy.
All right, then. You're going for Judi Dench. I'm going to go for Kate Blanchett.
Did I write? Oh, actress. There we go. And you're going for Kate Blanchett.
Yeah.
That is a C. Honest.
Not an I.
Yes. I can write.
But yeah, so that's that and all about it.
That's that and all about it.
Mm-hmm. So, which brings us to actor in a leading role.
Yeah. Yes, Christian Bale for American Hustle, Bruce Dern for Nebraska, Leonardo DiCaprio for Wolf of Wall Street. I only wrote Leo because I couldn't be bothered to write the rest of it. You go for that next name.
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Yeah, for 12 Years a Slave.
Yep.
I never know. I don't want to get it wrong. And Matthew McConaughey for Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah.
Now, before seeing any of the trailers, I probably would have gone for him.
Chiwetel Ejiofor, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or Leo, to be fair.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't
Leonardo DiCaprio's never won an Oscar, has he?
And he needs to. But having seen the trailer, Matthew McConaughey, Dallas Buyers Club, have you seen any of it?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It doesn't look like him anymore.
No. Who is that? I know that.
Because
I know that,
there's
I know that voice.
there's
Who is
billboards for a new TV series that he's in with Woody Harrelson, which looks quite good, about the murder investigation
I wanna say
over 17
detectives,
years.
it's not detectives,
It's something
it's-
like that.
that? Yeah.
And again, on that billboard, doesn't look like
Because
Matthew
it's-
McConaughey because it's around about the same time that he's done Dallas Buyers Club, where he's lost loads of weight because he's an AIDS victim.
Yeah. Now the thing is, I don't want to say, oh, he deserves it because of all the weight he lost. The performance itself. I mean, obviously the look does help that, and the fact that he went through all of that to give that performance. Like he actually went through the change with his body for that role. Yes, that does count towards.
But Christian Bale's gone the other way. He put on weight for this one.
Yeah, Christian Bale fucking is gonna die from yo-yoing. Like,
Yeah, I know, it's ridiculous.
from the amount of weight he
I mean,
lost and then
it's
put
like-
on and then lost and then put on throughout his career.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
you
for
only
American
need-
Hustle, he was Batman, so he's bulked up for Batman anyway. All he had to do was stop exercising.
Yeah,
and it
then
would have turned
put
into
on
fat.
the pot belly. Yeah,
Yeah, it's it's
But then before that was like he was in The Machinist, literally a year before
Batman.
Batman Begins, and he was about where he was skeletal in
Yes.
The Machinist. It's horrifying to watch that film.
I haven't
Really,
seen it. Liz says it's amazing, and I need to see it.
and it's good. It's good. And then he like bulked up something like 100 pounds
Yeah,
to
Fucking
become the physique of
insane.
Batman. It's madness.
but yeah,
Bruce Dern, he's a bit of a legend, really, and does look like he get. I mean, they're all good. I mean, the thing that
you want Leo just because he deserves it for everything he's done. I
yeah,
think.
but does he deserve it for this role? That's the thing.
That's
It
the
doesn't
problem,
look
isn't it?
like it's a great acting role. It looks like he's just having a load of fun.
But then that's all they show in the trailer. So
Yeah.
having not seen the film, it's difficult because I have.
But
heard
he
he's
should have
amazing in
won
it.
much earlier in his career for films like The
Jesus.
Aviator and Titanic.
Even The
and-
Beach.
yeah,
I thought. Have you?
yeah.
Have you seen it?
yeah.
Yeah.
But the things that he does with Scorsese.
What's eating Gilbert Grape?
Yes. Yeah, good
Like-
point. Why didn't he win for that? The Departed, he's good in that.
Yeah. That's a fantastic film.
However, I think the things that he does with Scorsese, I don't know, it just... I'm just not sure
No,
about
not
his
for this.
Scorsese work
Yeah.
because it doesn't... like I say, he just looks like he's having fun rather than acting sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know how
If
to
that's the
describe
role he's
it.
playing.
Yeah, I know.
what you
It's
mean.
difficult because even in Gangs of New York, like it's a good performance, but is it Oscar worthy?
Yeah.
I don't know whether it is.
He's a good actor, but is he a great actor?
Yeah,
is the
Shutter
question.
Island, it's good.
Yes.
Shutter Island, possibly the best of his Scorsese work for me.
That is good.
But he should have won an Oscar much earlier on in his career. Is he going to get it because he hasn't won an Oscar?
Yeah.
You kind of look at it that way. Chiwetel Ejiofor had it for me before Matthew McConaughey,
Before you saw.
before Dallas Buyers Club. And also McConaughey's been on a massive resurgence in the last few
Which is
years
great.
as well, because he's gone from being in shit romantic comedies to actually really, really good arty, independent style films with better roles.
He was very, very typecast for a long time.
Oh, ages. Yeah, yeah.
And I think he probably done all the indie films to kind of go to people, look, remember, I can
Yeah,
do this.
yeah.
And everyone's gone, oh, yeah.
Holy crap, he is an actor. I remember
Yeah.
now. Yeah. I
and
mean,
that role
'cause,
itself.
Mark Kermode always says that for a few years, all he did was lean on things on
Yeah. He's got that leaning.
on the posters.
Well, it's funny because in that picture, he's not leaning on the side, he's holding
He's-
onto rails and leaning
Yeah.
on them. But he's still leaning, but he's just leaning
True.
in a different stance.
Yes.
But yeah, I think Matthew McConaughey could
Yeah.
probably pip this.
Me too. I
think
think he will.
Just from the trailer, I was like engrossed and I really wanted to see more of it. So we're both going for
McConaughey
Going
through his
All right,
reconnaissance. His reconnaissance.
I think
Yeah.
that leaves
So that just leaves then Best Picture.
this list of
Which
2,
is-
4, 6, 8, 9.
Yeah. So it's American Hustle, Captain Phillips, Dallas Buyers Club, Gravity, Her, Nebraska, Philomena, 12 Years a Slave, or The Wolf of Wall Street.
Which are pretty much every single award.
Yeah,
In this,
pretty much.
one of those is in every category, I
Yeah.
think, apart from animated.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't touch on director.
I know, but I
But,
find it difficult because I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't know. Without seeing the films, it's hard
Exactly.
to kind of say about director. You can only go on their reputation, can't you?
True.
Like Scorsese. Who else is in there? Director-wise.
David O. Russell for American Hustle.
Hey!
It rhymes.
As ABH approved.
Spike
Playing with-
Jones for Her. Alfonso Cuarón for Gravity.
I mean, they're all names, aren't they?
Yeah, Steve McQueen, 12 Years a Slave.
But without seeing them, you can't. I mean, Gravity, possibly, just for the complexity of it.
Yeah. But I've heard that the actual script itself is a bit kind of baggy. The
But
science doesn't really
director,
work.
isn't it? It's not script, it's about direction.
Oh, you're talking about director.
Oh,
now.
sorry. You know, that's what I was saying.
Oh, right.
'Cause you were
I
saying
don't
about
know where
you said we missed directors, and I said,
no, no.
well, who's actually there?
Oh, I don't know. I was just talking about the
Oh, okay.
directors for those films. I
see.
Where is director?
It's not
Who
even.
the fuck is director?
I'd have thought it'd be up in the top near the film.
You'd have thought so, but it wasn't. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Directing.
So you got David O. Russell, Alfonso Cuarón, Alexander Payne for Nebraska, Steve McQueen for 12 Years a Slave, and Martin Scorsese for The Wolf of Wall Street.
That's what I mean. And like, it's hard because you're just basing it on their reputation more than the film itself. But like I said, Gravity, just because of the complexity.
Yeah, probably Gravity.
12 Years a Slave because of the subject matter.
I was going to
You know
say
what I mean?
it's split between Alfonso Cuarón and Steve McQueen for my money.
I think Gravity would probably deserve it, but I think 12 Years a Slave. So I think Steve
Yeah.
McQueen would probably get it.
Scorsese, I don't think will because
Wolf of Wall Street. Now that's the one that's had a bit of controversy in the press, isn't it? Because it glamorises.
people are making the argument that it glamorizes the lifestyle that this guy lived,
But
and also because they give him a small cameo in it as well. And it's like,
yeah, I think they'll probably pull
I
it
mean,
out if they're running then.
from the sounds of it, it's not a glamorous depiction.
No.
But also on a directorial standpoint, I've heard that it's far too long, and that actually you could lose about half an hour
Yes,
of it
I've
just
heard
by
that as well, actually.
just
But
by
it's
cutting out
Scorsese.
a couple of orgy scenes.
Scorsese.
Yeah, it's kind of what he does. But then is that an excuse?
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if it's not tight enough, then it's not well directed enough.
No.
Yeah. So for me, it's either Alfonso Cuarón or Steve McQueen for
I think
director.
Steve McQueen will get it. I think.
See, I wonder. Because as much as it may well, I don't know, it's difficult because everyone
You're
was...
talking director still.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, probably Alfonso Cuarón for Gravity.
You reckon?
Because it's the most directed film, probably.
Yeah.
Really. He needed to be involved in, like... yeah. Fuck it. Yeah, let's just go for that.
You're going for Gravity.
Yeah.
I reckon Steve McQueen will get director.
Okay.
No basis. Just because of the subject matter, I think.
Yeah,
Film.
but I was wondering whether that was for film, you see, because
Best
it's
picture.
got that.
Oh, yeah.
But it's kind of... Because it's been weird, because earlier on... Towards the end of last year, everyone was raving about Captain Phillips, and there's no way anything's going to beat it. And then somehow American Hustle got loads of Golden Globes.
Yeah.
And then that became like the little dark horse of what the Oscars might come out with. And then in the last couple of weeks, really, you've had, although 12 Years a Slave then came out, and that was very, Oscar worthy. And then like in the last couple of weeks, people have been talking about The Wolf of Wall Street and Dallas Buyers Club as well. And it's really, really difficult.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I don't think Her or Nebraska or Philomena will win.
No.
I don't think so.
I think we can take them out of it.
Yeah.
You got two really strong, like Captain Phillips and 12 Years a Slave, are kind of you can group together in the big
Based on it.
powerful
Yeah.
like stories. Then you got American Hustle and The Wolf of Wall Street. You can put together as the heist
Kind of
sort
heist
of
caper.
yeah.
kind of
It's in
things.
Gravity just for the sheer scale and
But then Dallas Buyers Club is a very worthy
You've got
movie
that.
as well, because you've got the,
I think that's the only one that really stands out. Well, no, Gravity. Gravity and Dallas Buyers Club both stand out on their own.
Yeah.
The others you can kind of group together as in
It's
I was gonna say
difficult, isn't it?
personal stories about
Yeah.
somebody, but Captain Phillips' Gravity is the same, isn't it? Oh, that's really difficult. I'm trying to separate them and say which ones stand out, but they all kind of do.
Yeah, this is what I'm
I
saying.
mean,
is that
Her,
really-
I think, has got a very good chance based on what the Americans have been saying.
Yeah, but as it hasn't come out over here yet, it's difficult
But
to
it's
say.
an American awards ceremony.
Yeah,
It's the
exactly. Of
Academy
course it
Awards,
is. Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. See, I really want to say 12 Years a Slave.
I want to say Dallas Buyers Club.
But
based
I
on,
know,
I
yeah.
didn't know anything about it, but seeing the trailer yesterday,
Yeah.
that one really stood out as.
Yeah, I think it's
But
between
I said
those
12
two.
Years a Slave did that earlier.
I think it's
It is those two.
yeah, but I don't know whether I can call it.
You're going to have to put your money on one, though.
Yeah,
Like the podcast, I think will back both of them.
yeah.
Like whatever one you choose,
You'll
I will
choose
choose
the other.
one.
Well, I'll go with 12 Years a Slave then.
Good, because I wanted to go for Dallas Buyers Club.
So that's it for our Oscars predictions this year. We've not been particularly clear on anything
No,
because
but
we've not really
we'll
seen
go
any of them.
rundown again.
Yeah.
Cinematography, we both chose Grandmaster.
Okay. I stand. behind that.
What other one did we go for between that? You picked one out. Song?
Yeah,
you picked
song.
You
I
picked
went
Let
for
It Go.
Let It Go for Frozen.
I chose Happy.
That's right.
Animated, you chose Frozen. I chose The Wind Rises.
Mm-hmm.
Actress, we both went for Lupita.
Supporting actress.
Sorry, we both went for Lupita Nyong'o.
Uh-huh.
Supporting actor, we both went for Jared Leto.
Mm-hmm.
Actress, you chose Kate Blanchett. I chose Judi Dench.
Yes.
Actor, we both chose Matthew McConaughey.
Righto.
Picture, I chose Dallas Buyers Club. You chose 12 Years a Slave, and I'm sure there was another one we both did in there that we didn't.
What, in picture?
Animated. No. That's what we chose. Dallas Buyers Club.
Oh, I
and 12
see,
Years a
sorry,
Slave.
yeah.
But I'm sure there was another category we
Yeah,
went
there probably was.
directing.
Was it animated feature
Directing.
film? Directing, yeah, and probably Alfonso Cuarón.
Yeah, and I went for 12 Years a Slave.
Steve McQueen.
Yeah.
Righto. There we go. Yeah, those are the
that's
only
our choices.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So
what we'll do is
next week
with Corky, perhaps if he decides.
we
to.
will go over the winners and stuff, but
Yeah.
we won't spend too long on it because we spent nearly an hour on this.
Yes.
We wanted to mention people, didn't we?
Yes. As well as Rob Polanco, who has been listening through to more episodes than you can shake a stick at.
Yeah, and Nerd Church have taken me on as their
I know.
super fan. I think he's the Pod Pal super fan.
We had
I don't
him
think he's
first.
your super fan. We had him before you, I think. But then Drunky had him before us because he's Steve's
he's a fan of
friend.
the Pod Pals, not
Yes.
just a single.
Yeah, share and share alike, Nerd
yeah,
Church. Come on.
Yeah. We only mentioned because no one else was mentioning.
It's just jealousy, to be fair.
But also, we picked up another one this week that we weren't aware of.
He's been listening for a while, I think.
Apparently
hasn't
so,
he?
yeah. He's listened to the first, I think he was up to about episode 10-ish.
Yeah.
So he's kind of come on late and is picking up steam. His Twitter handle is @unenthusiasmpaul.
No spaces, no
No.
underscores, no dash.
No nothing.
Hyphens.
His profile says he's a ranter, raver, musician, film lover, egoist, arsehole, guitarist and singer of Outlaw, purveyor of life and all its misgivings. He's from southwest England as well,
Oh,
which
really?
means kind
I
of
didn't realise he was
Cornwall, Devon
English.
area. Yeah.
Oh, how did he come onto our radar, though, Tom?
Well, what happened was I spotted a picture of his that he put up on Twitter, where he's making a guitar where the body is an old PlayStation 1.
The grey PlayStation.
Yeah,
one.
the old school flippy
It's
lid
gonna
ones.
sound like shit.
Oh, probably.
You won't get much good resonance out of a plastic case console, but it's gonna
No,
look fucking
It
awesome.
looks pretty cool. It kind of like I said to him, it's kind of like an updated version of Paul McCartney's cigar box guitar.
Yes, which sounds like shit, but is awesome.
Yeah.
It's one of those things.
And he said that once he actually gets it up and running, he's going to post something, and we can
Yeah.
have a watch of it and have a listen to how it sounds.
yeah.
But yeah, he was he's been listening as well. He enjoys the podcast, so that's good.
Yes.
So thank you, Unenthusiasm Paul.
He actually has I've just noticed there, he's got a blog.
He has got a blog, yes.
Unenthusiasm-blogspot.co.uk.
Yeah, so we'll have to go there and
Lots
have
of
a look at
some blogs in there.
what it is that he blogs about. Probably he's a bit of a ranter by the sounds of
And
it.
probably his guitar playing. I
Quite
should think.
possibly, yeah.
And
yeah.
projects he's
So
building.
we shall
But
have
yeah.
to check that out and, start cultivating another fan. One by one, we cultivate
We
the
are.
fans.
We're looking at exponential growth here.
Yeah,
so if
exactly.
each one of those fans invites one or two other fans,
Exactly, that's all that
gonna be good.
matters. And we've had some nice shout outs from other podcasts as usual this week.
Yes.
Go out and find them all because they are all lovely, lovely people and their shows are interesting and entertaining.
search for the hashtag PoshPals on Twitter.
Posh Pals.
PoshPals. Hashtag PoshPals. Hashtag PodPals.
Yeah, it's all our PodPal pals,
pals.
including Nerd Church, Drunk Geek blog, History of Misunderstanding, Stinking Paws, Nashcast, Sweet Feathery Jesus.
It's getting too long.
It's getting really long. Weekly
That's
Geek
what I'm
Speak,
saying,
JT
hashtag,
Movie
it's just
Podcast.
easy.
Yeah, it's just look for the hashtag PodPals and
You almost PodPals.
and you will find all these great podcasts and it's a nice little community where we all muck in together
Yeah.
and all the rest of it and stuff and
I'm sure that was
and come and
Oh.
come and have a chat with us because we enjoy that.
There is something else. Film related.
Go on.
Harold Ramis.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I was going to mention as well Talking Head Podcast.
Oh, sorry.
Because
Just in-
Talking Head
Oh.
Podcast put out a brand new podcast this
Yes,
week.
well
Talking Head encompasses about 5 or 6 shows,
Six
I
now.
believe. Yeah. With the new one.
Yeah.
So you've got Ridgecast, the affiliates, Against the Spreads,
Yeah.
Audio Damascus.
Yes, which they're relaunching.
The affiliates.
You've done that.
Yeah, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's
Sorry.
another sports one, Against the
There
Spreads.
is. I can't remember the name of
Getting
it.
getting after it.
Yes, Getting After It.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's it. I don't listen to the sports one because I'm not a big fan of
We don't
American
listen to the sports one because sports.
let alone English sports.
Yeah.
We're not sports people.
Yeah. I'm sure we're missing.
But yes, so he put out an episode of its name is hashtag For the Love of Pod, and
Yes.
it's all one word. And basically the whole point of the show is to showcase podcasts that Jake Calland likes. And we've been lucky enough
To be the first.
that he's profiled. So there are 2 episodes up. The 00 episode is him just introducing
For the Love of Pod, yeah.
For the Love of Pod and what it's about and all that. And then episode 1 is us. And we chose the episodes that we thought best represented us, I
Yeah.
think.
It's what you can expect if you listen to us over a few weeks. Kind
Yeah.
of put into one episode. It's what
Yeah.
we used to do.
Yeah,
But
it
now we
is.
kind of do it spread out
Yeah.
because we kind of ramble.
We do. We've rambled a lot more than usual
Yeah,
recently.
either way.
We've not really recovered from the new year and all the rest of it, have we? But yeah, so go and listen to that because next episode is going to be Nerd Church. If you
Yes.
haven't listened to Nerd Church, you need to listen to that episode because I'm sure they'll have picked super fun one of theirs.
Any of them.
And eventually he'll put one up of all the pod pals, and I'm sure he'll put up, ones that we don't even know about. He said he was talking to someone in India
Really?
about a podcast
Awesome.
from there. So that's quite cool.
That's
I
cool.
look forward to that. And this is the thing, it's going to open us up to even more podcasts.
Jesus.
So it's a really, really great idea. And we 100% back it, obviously,
Oh, yeah,
because
yeah.
we are on it.
It's very similar to an idea we had early on where we kind of just wanted to interview other podcasters and we just never get around to it.
We started
Jake,
with the...
Jake came up with this idea 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, and he's got it into production
And now it's
already.
going.
Yeah, I know. It shows the difference between people with real drive and
Yes.
those of us who just kind of go, yeah, we'll
We'll
get
do
round
that.
to it.
Yeah.
So well done, Jake.
Yes, really enjoyed listening to it, and you said some very, very, very nice things about us.
Yes, yeah.
And things that we believe we don't deserve to be said about us,
Because we're horribly humble.
and we hate taking
praise.
compliments. Hate it. So stop.
No, don't.
No, don't. We love it, really. But yeah, just makes us feel awkward if you say it to us.
Yeah. So yeah, go out and check out For the Love of Pod, because eventually you'll find all sorts of podcasts that you'll go on to love and enjoy.
Yes.
But yes, you did mention the passing of Harold Ramis. He will be sorely missed.
Had a really weird effect on me. It's somebody I've not thought about in years, don't think about ever.
Well, it's weird because...
He was my least favourite Ghostbuster when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah, because he was a geek.
Yeah.
It was because he was weird. I didn't really get him,
right.
sort of thing.
No,
But
I
now,
see.
he's probably one of my favourite Ghostbusters. Now I'm an adult.
He's also the director and
Yes.
writer of
I know.
Ghostbusters and Groundhog Day
I know.
and, you
I
know,
didn't
just
realise that.
Caddyshack
for- until-
and all sorts of fucking things, mainly with Bill Murray.
Yeah.
And it kind of puts the kibosh on having a third Ghostbusters film.
Yeah, but nobody really wanted it.
I think there was demand
worked.
there, but Bill Murray didn't want to be in it.
I don't think it
That
would've
was the
worked.
problem. And yeah, I mean, all these ones, I mean, there's going to be a third Dumb and Dumber film. There's going to be...
No, it's the second Dumb and Dumber film.
Well, yeah, all right. There's going to be a third Bill and Ted film. There's going to be, do you know what I mean? All these things are coming back, and I don't think we really need them. But the one that could have worked, I think,
it's-
would have been Ghostbusters.
out of all of them, yes.
And I would have looked forward to have seen it because I love his writing style. I like
Yeah.
his directing. Like every film,
Well, I mean,
look
it's
down,
written, isn't it? I think
Yeah.
he wrote it.
You look down the films that he's written, and it's just
There's not a bad one in
no, there isn't.
It's-
And even when he was, I mean, the last film I saw him in where he was acting was probably Knocked Up.
Yeah, he played
He was Seth Rogen's,
Seth Rogen's dad, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just really sad, and Twitter went mental.
It did
about
really.
it,
I don't know.
and-
It just affected me. I didn't expect it to
Yeah.
affect me at all.
Yeah. No, it was a shame. It was a real shame. And
But-
but there was one correspondence I had on Twitter as well with someone called I think they're at Binky Toes.
Yeah. Oh yes, I
where
forgot about this.
she posted something that said everything you're saying about Harold Ramis today, post at exactly the same time tomorrow.
Yeah.
And
And
I
see
tweeted
how many
her,
people get the joke, yeah.
I tweeted her, I favorited it and stuff, and I said exactly how many days do I have to
Do this.
do
yeah.
this for? And she came back with an actual reply.
Was it her or was it somebody else? that
No, I
replied?
think it was her.
It'll take a while
Now,
to
see,
find
I haven't remembered.
There it is,
there
there
it
it
is. There it is. There it is. And she
That's
tweeted back saying 33 years and 350 days, because apparently that is how long he
Bill-
was in
yeah.
Groundhog Day, because that's accumulated hours based on the fact that someone said that it takes 10,000 hours to get good at something, and he plays the piano, he's an ice sculptor,
And cards. Is it
throwing cards
Yeah.
into a hat, all the rest of those things that he does during that film apparently
All
would
of
have
this
taken
stuff.
roughly 33 years and 350 days, so just under 34 years to have mastered.
Which takes away, because that makes me go, well, then it's a bad film because he didn't age.
Yeah, but he wasn't supposed to, because it's the same day over and over again.
He's living the same day
Yeah,
over and over again.
Yeah, but he wouldn't have aged because it resets, doesn't it?
Does
even
it
though
reset
his
him?
not
It
for
doesn't
his-
reset him though,
Yeah,
because he remembers.
but-
So he's still aging because he's able to remember things. Sorry, exactly. That's the problem. I think about these
Yeah.
things.
But also Howard Ramis has been quoted as saying that it could have been up to like 3,000 years.
Yeah.
Was the original thing, but then he thought that was a bit harsh, like,
Yeah.
and difficult to kind of
Still
explain
a
away.
fantastic film.
Such a great film. I mean, he's left a legacy on comedy as a whole, comedy films as a whole, I think. I mean, look, Ghostbusters was taken on, morphed into Men in Black.
Yeah.
Stuff like Groundhog Day, you've had redone by Adam Sandler's 50 First Dates.
yeah, that's true.
Just all his films, you can see a link to the
Influenced
next
filmmakers
generation of
and-
filmmakers.
For years to come.
Yeah, and it will be a profound and sad loss to Hollywood, really. And there's a lot of people dying at the moment. It's
That's what I was
horrible.
just about to say. And can Hollywood please stop dying? now?
Yeah, there won't be enough
I think
left.
we've not gone a month for a very long time without.
No, I mean, it
talking
was Philip
about-
Seymour Hoffman, Shirley Temple, Harold Ramis, all within the space of a month.
Yeah.
You know,
Fuck's sake. Stop it, please.
It's just
My
sad.
childhood is dying.
And the thing is, those montages at the Oscars now are going to go on for ages.
that's
The
gonna
amount
be
of people
crazy.
that have died this year is insane.
Yeah. So to leave it on a different note, 'cause
Yeah.
we don't want to leave it on death.
No, we
always
don't
try
wanna-
not to.
no.
We spoke when we were texting. Was it yesterday or the day before? At some point, we text quite a bit this week.
We have, haven't we?
Yeah, at least 2 days this week
Yeah.
we text each other. But we said, and I want to put it out there because I want other ideas. And if we put it out there, it's going to have to happen.
Yes.
I said to you, and I think we've had the conversation before, I want to bring back the ABCs in some form.
Yes, and I know that this has been brought up by a couple of other podcasters in the past as well, not least of which Jake from Talking Head Podcast,
Yeah.
and I think Stephen from History of Misunderstanding has been saying
Yeah.
about the ABCs of late.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, and I think it's something that adds structure to a podcast.
Definitely, yeah.
And
Morrissey hasn't turned up this week to close us out. So,
no, I think he's a bit of rehearsing.
yeah.
Yeah, he texted me.
Did
said-
he?
Yeah, actually, yeah, he texted me. He's gone to Tom Jones's for a
Oh, of
coffee.
course,
And
yeah, and they're talking about their big
soy
shows.
milk, obviously. You can't have real milk. So yeah, we want to bring back the
Yeah,
ABCs in
and
some
kind of do it-
form.
Kind of do it in a slightly more structured way, I think.
I don't know if I want to do
personally.
it on bring in something, anything.
No.
Starting with this.
No, I
letter. It's
think
got
we're
be
gonna have
specific.
to-
Perfect would be music, but like we said, we can't do music.
Yeah. I've got some ideas that I'm going to throw at you.
Cool. Now I've
off
brought it
air,
up.
probably, yeah.
But yeah, it'd be cool if anyone else can get in contact with.
But
any ideas you might
yeah,
have.
because the ABCs was, it was this silly little throwaway thing that ended up being like a bit of a labour by the end of it because we were like,
But
shit, because
people
we
seem
didn't.
to like
But
it,
yeah, people loved
and
it.
it gave us something to talk about.
And it gave us an end to this show,
Yes.
which we're awful at since the ABCs went away.
See if we get this under an hour and 10 this week.
Yeah, we will.
Because I've got lots of editing to do.
Yes. So give us a shout on Twitter or the email at abhpod@gmail.com
Or Facebook.
or Facebook or anywhere that you can get hold of us.
Anywhere but here.
And anywhere but here, yeah, because this is live and you can't interact.
Yeah, you're only
live with
listening
us,
to this.
so you're only listening after the fact.
Boom.
Hey, yeah. Just tell us what you might like the ABCs to morph into. I did say actually because I trailed it, I teased it at the end of Z, because my last one was zombies.
Oh yeah.
And the zombies killed the ABCs, but I did say maybe the ABCs would come back
Possibly. Yeah.
because they would reanimate.
Good point. Yeah. So any ideas? Like classic toys,
Yeah,
films, music could be music. Things you don't have to play any.
yeah.
Anything. It's something to think about.
It is.
Right.
Yeah, and we'll give it some deep thought after this, but not on air like I was just about to.
Yeah.
So for
I did
Anywhere But
notice.
Here this week, I've been Tom.
I've been Ant.
Bye.
Anywhere But Here podcast. Well, that's an hour of your life you won't get back.